Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P for Thinking Right, out here in the lab where I do what I do for you. I got something nice for you today. Oh, get comfortable. This might take a minute, but what I thought was fluff, no, it's information, so I'm going to give it to you. Let's go. Rightism, 25 rules to live by. Storyteller, story with a message. There's a message in the story for life. I give life lessons. You tune in receiving them. I appreciate you. You know what we do, right? Thinking mission, and that's what I'm on, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinker's way of life through mental and spiritual discipline. Practice daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. You see where we going with that? So I asked the question, do you know you? It's rhetorical, but if you know how to answer for yourself, tune in. I can help you with that. That's what I do for you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself, and always to my eye be true. I was asked the question, you all into this meditation stuff, okay, how does meditation work? Excellent question. Hope I can answer it as excellent as I think the question is. And that's why I got a whole page of information. Hope we make that happen for you. Let's go. Remember, meditation may be thought of as what? Or defined as a practice of mental exercise and spiritual disciplines to what? To enable you, the meditator, to what? Achieve and control over what? Your mind, specifically to do what? To stop the negative low vibrations of what? The mind due to unwanted thoughts, imaginations, etc. Meaning if you don't have control of what's going on in your mind, it's going to have its way with you. Simple as that. Okay, you have to be in control, and meditation does that. Everybody who I hear suffer from anxiety, first of all, breathe. Keep the heart rate comfortable, because if it get agitated, once the mind get distracted, everything goes like this. You can't function like that. Smooth it out, okay? And that's what meditation does for you personally. Now, consciousness refers to what? Refer to the awareness of what? Being alive. I know I'm woke. And having what? Identity. I know myself. Some of us think that's enough. Not nearly. Watch. This is going to prove it out. It is this characteristic which separates what? Humans from the animal kingdom. We can know ourselves. Animals don't have no concept. Why? Animals cannot become aware of their own existence or ponder the questions such as, who am I? A dog and cat don't ask who they is. They just instinctively be who they are. We as humans do the same thing on a lower level. We have to become conscious. What? Raise our conscious level to be better people, or we just be no different than the beast of the field. That's why we have consciousness to use to better ourselves, raise ourselves above what? Our beastly lower nature, aka we are. Watch this. Where am I going in life? Animals don't give a crap, okay? Where do I come from? Again, could care less, etc. Why? No conscience. Don't concern themselves with that. They live off of instinct. They cannot write books. They cannot give instructions. They cannot become sage. They cannot create elaborate systems of social history based on what? Their ancestry. They've been dogs. They've always been dogs. They're going to continue to be dogs, etc. You see where I'm going with that? But consciousness expresses itself in three modes. I've been telling you that for a while. I'm going to tell you it again. They are waking, which state you're in right now. comfortable knowing this is what you're interacting. That's okay. That's you're conscious, so you're awake. The dream sleep. Okay, that's when you go out and go to sleep. Then you got the sleepless deep dream. That's when you become unconscious. That's the state you go when you go in for eternity. Hold on one second. Yeah, sorry about that. But you got to understand the three states are waking, dream, and the sleep, dream sleep, when you're going to sleep, that you can understand. But that sleep, that one that you go that deep under, that's the real one. Okay, that's called the deep sleep. Okay, the dreamless, because you don't remember none of that. That don't come back. Why? That's giving you a glimpse of things to come. Moving on. So they had a concept of the afterlife even in their mind. Let's go. And it would play it out perfect for them, I understand it. However, what? Ordinary human life is only partially conscious. No, please understand, when I'm reading, teaching, I'm not debating, I'm telling you, listen, pay attention, watch this now, I'm going to bring it to you. When you're driving, perfect example, or walking, you sometimes, lose track of the present moment. We call it daydreaming. Sitting in school, you think about whatever you're going to do later or what you did before, but you ain't in the moment. That's normal. Trust me. But if you want to take care of that problem, because all of a sudden you arrive at your destination without even becoming conscious or aware of what you did on the road, which you have just traveled, walking, riding, whatever. But you get caught in thought, you got memory. You just, it's just going to do. Okay, that's the conscious. That's autopilot. It's not always good. When people go to autopilot, a lot of times you sleep, okay, with your eyes open. Okay, why? Because the mind then drifts somewhere else. So your eyes ain't focused on the road, so you really sleep, okay, with eyes open, hence daydreaming, woke. Your mind won't, watch this, your mind went into what? Auto mode of consciousness. Again, it's just going to function. It's like that. And this auto mode of consciousness represents a temporary withdrawal, meaning you ain't focused. You done withdraw from the waking world. Okay, you done went to sleep, eyes wide open, and you sleep. Why? Because your mind done went somewhere else, and it ain't focused on what you're doing. Like Yoda told Luke, your mind is always somewhere else, never focusing on what you need to be doing at the present time. Good philosophy. They got that from us. Matter of fact, that's what we say right here. And this state is similar to what? Daydream. I love this. Daydreaming, what they call it, okay? Psychologically, it's called auto-consciousness, okay? But for the layman, we call it daydreaming. Musing or fantasies. Why? Because the mind, it done did this, you ain't in control of it. How about that? You done gave up control of the will and just let it go. That's never good, okay? And this form of existence is what most people consider as normal. Everyday waking consciousness, because everybody do it. Man, everybody, yeah, but those you see on the side of the road, that car that went, they did it too. Get the point? But it is what people actually consider to be the extent of what human capacity to experience or to be conscious. To be conscious all the time. Man, nobody, meditative state of mind. Well, I call it being God conscious. I'm going to get you there in a minute. Watch this. Let's go. I see the clock. I got to get this thing moving. I got a bunch of information here. So let's go to the next level. I call this fluff, but now I think I got to use it to make my point. So understand this. The normal state of human consciousness cannot be considered as whole. Again, it's partial. Again, why it can't be considered whole or complete? Because if it was what happened, there would be no experience of lapse or gaps in your consciousness. Perfect example takes me to my concept of being God conscious. God don't leave my mind. I don't never not have God on my mind. That's what they're saying. When you're God conscious, I don't have lapses. And wait a minute, if I'm tired and I'm driving, I might waddle a little, but that didn't mean God ain't on my mind. That means I done got caught up in the normal flow of things, okay? The human part takes over. So, but in other words, every instant of your consciousness would be accounted for. That means, as best to my ability, I'm in control of what I'm doing thinking, and reacting to. That's what they're telling you, okay? And all the time, my reaction to whatever happened is this pleasing to God? Is this good in God's sight? That's being God conscious. I'm not going to react to a situation my way. I did that many times. Sometimes don't go well. But when I put God first and have that decision with that concept, I make a lot better decisions for myself. That's all I'm saying. You can do likewise. And what happens? There would be no trance-like states, no drifting, no daydreamers, wherein one loses what? Track of time or awareness of one's own activity. If you're doing something and you get so caught up in that, that's never good, okay? Cut hands, mistakes, yeah. Look what? You got caught out there, not paying attention. Even, watch this, but your own activity, if you're not aware of your own activity, even as they are what? They're being performed, you better pay attention to what you're doing. In times of trance or lapse, watch this, full awareness or consciousness is not present. You're not focused. Otherwise, it would be what? Impossible not to be aware of passage of time while engaging in any various activities. Again, knowing what you're doing when you're doing it is important. Trance here should be differentiated from what? The religious or the mystical form of trance-like state induced through what? Meditation. I don't hear that word in religious texts, so I never heard them say meditate. So moving on. But watch this. Now, as used above, it refers to the condition of what? Being so lost in solitary thought. When I go into deep thought, that's meditation. But I'm not gonna go into deep thought when I'm driving my car or holding conversation or putting on my podcast here. I don't have time for that. Then I gotta stay focused and conscious. And what happened? They so lost in solitary thought as to what? They become unaware of their surroundings. Again, it may further be characterized as what? A stunned or a bewildered condition, or what? A fog or stupor, or better than that, befuddlement, dazed, muddled state of mind. When you ask people, when they go through that, it just happened. It just happened. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. I tell people, you go sleep at the wheel, 70, 80 miles an hour, you might wake up dead. Moving on. But everyone have had this experience, this condition at some point in time or another in their personal life. So it ain't like you don't know. You do. You fully aware. And that's what meditation will take care of. Those spots, they connect them. They constantly keep them aware. That's all it's all about. Waking up, meaning not going to sleep at the wheel. Okay? While you're present, don't go to sleep in the present state. What most people consider to be awake, watch this, state of mind in which life is lived in reality is only a fraction of what? The total potential consciousness which all human beings can experience. At Judgment Day, they're going to judge you by how mayat did you live, how balanced did you live, how righteous did you live. That's the concept, okay? That's how meditation works. Hope you got the lesson. Hope you understood it. Now let's go into understanding the process of meditation. Now I'm going to hopefully break it down for you. There's a bunch of stuff here. Now this is what I call fluff. This gets real intricate, and to the layman it's confusing. But I'm going to go ahead down and break it down for you. I'm just show you the picture and the concept, okay? All right, quick. Run through it and then get to the lesson. Understanding the process of meditation. Beginning. Eternity is with God. We call him Pa Netta, Nebuja, or we address it here as the self. The spirit that's in all of us is the self. And it is infinite. It goes on forever. Universal consciousness is the subtlest level you can reach. I just told you about the waking, the dream, and the sleep, dreamless state. The dreamless state is what we call the casual. That's the lucid, casual consciousness. It transcends what? Time and space. You're connected to the absolute now. And when you go into that state of mind, that's where you go for eternity. That's the goal for all right thinkers, to make it there when this life is over. That's what you want to connect with. Going back to Asar, they called it. That's the subtle state, or me and Amun, your true self. Where your individual body goes to meet the universal body. It's a beautiful thing, but that's the philosophy. And watch this. Now, you got the subtler essence, which is casual plane. That's considered by Amun, the hidden one. Then you got the waking, lucid, astral, conscious level. That's considered Ra, the astral plane, next level, subtle. And then you got the more dense, the physical level, which is the lowest level on the spectrum. You got Pata, what? Physical manifestation in the flesh. That's us. And it's the level that we're working on. That's the gross property. We want to go from what? From gross back to subtle, from matter back to spirit. That's the fall of man. We fell from grace, aka knowledge of self or divine self, to what? Human, and had to go back to what? Divine self, conceptually. Hope you understand that. Let me get this lesson. I got to beat that clock. I got a few things I want to get in. So let's go. A little quick, so I'm trying to slow it down. I get you. The state of automatic consciousness, we just talked about that, so I'm just piggybacking off of that. Watch this. Get out of here. And the state of automatic consciousness is characterized by what? Mental distraction, agitated mind, restlessness, and extroversions, meaning everything is outward. Everything, you got to have people, you got to be out and about, you got to be social. Those are extroverts. I'm an introvert. I keep everything inside. We don't cry out loud. Bam. The automatic state of mind exists due to what? You ready? Uncontrolled emotions, such as, you ready? Desires, anger, and hatred, jealousy, which engenders what? Desires in the mind, which in turn causes more movement and distractions and delusions and more lapse or gaps in what? The human consciousness. In this state or this condition, it does not matter how many desires you fulfill. Why? If you're living on the physical level, it don't matter how many girls you got, how much money you got, how many houses you amass, you still not fulfilled. And watch this. So the mind of an ignorant person will always be distracted, okay, never satisfied, always agitated, distracted by something or pissed off about something, and will never discover peace and contentment. When they say never, if you're going that way and that's the wrong way, you're never going to end up in the right place. So understand that. You can't get good out of bad. If the mind were under control through the right thinking philosophy, meditation daily, meaning what? If you were to remain fully aware, aka God conscious, got that in there, of every feeling, of all thoughts, and even control over said emotions. The ego don't run you emotionally. Why? Because in your mind, at any given time, it would be impossible if you were God conscious for what? For you to be swooned or deluded by what? Your negative and erroneous thoughts into a state of what? Relative unconsciousness or unawareness, meaning you done lost your control of your thought process and you're about to lose your mind with these crazy thoughts. And therefore, it is said, if you got your mind on God, you ain't God conscious, and you ain't settled for something, you'll fall for anything. So understand that. Keep God on your mind. That stops the temptation. That stops the unwanted thought. That stops the all negative, perverted concepts and views that you may have if you didn't put God in your mix. Trust me. It is said that those who do not have God on their minds, what happens? And had a mind under control, and they are not, when you don't have God in your mind, and you have your thought fully under control, you are not fully awake, and you are not conscious, you are not considered what? A conscious human being. 85% of the master people, they see you that way as being ignorant of yourself. And only we as a people can change that because we the one that made it that way. Numbers are there. All we got to do is acquiesce to them. Why? If they're big, bring them down. If they're down, raise them up. Simple. That's control. Don't you understand that? Moving on, I see the clock. I got to get this thing on the way. Wrapping it up. Meditation, okay, is meditation and yoga philosophy. Again, just meditating without a philosophy is like prayer without works. I keep telling you that. So your meditation and your yoga philosophy are what? Disciplines, which are what? Directed toward increasing what? Your awareness. Awareness or your God consciousness, becoming Christ conscious, sound familiar, can only be increased. How? When the mind is in a state of what? Peace and harmony. An agitated, distracted, evil, ignorant mind can't do that. Thus, the disciplines, I practice spiritual disciplines of what? Said meditation or right thinking philosophy, which are part of the integral yoga philosophy, are the primary reasons for controlling the mind and allowing you, the individual, to what? Mature psychologically and spiritually with knowledge of self. And with the right action, you fall right in line to what? Earn your blessings when? Daily. Psychological growth is what? Is because when the mind is brought under control through the practice and rigors of meditation, righteous living, your intellect now becomes clear. Now you're thinking right, okay? And your psychological complexes, such as anxieties, none. And other delusions, wiped out, which have what? An effect, even in ordinary people, can be cleared up and eradicated. Just change the way you think. Self-control, or AKA control of the mind, and the promotion of what? Internal harmony, allows you, the meditator, right thinker, to what? Integrate your personality and to resolve your hidden issues. Again, you be your own psychiatrist. How about that? Because you're going to introvert, you're going to go inside and reflect and find out your own hidden issues in what? Either of the present or even your childhood and past lives. That's what this thing can do. It's a bad machine, okay? The most technically advanced thing known to man. It don't come with instructions, but you can learn how to use it and get proficient at it. That's my goal, to get you to do just that. I'm gonna get one more paragraph in here. I see. When the mind, again, this is all about this thing on your shoulders, have been brought under control, again, through daily meditation and righteous virtuous living, the expansion of said consciousness now leads to what? The self-discovery that one's own individual consciousness is not the total experience. What happened? Why? Of consciousness. Through the correct practice of meditation, you, the individual, your individual consciousness and your awareness expands to the point where what? There is a self-discovery. That you are more than just an individual. Ding, 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 ding. That's what you're starting to blare. Why? Now you're starting to be getting knowledge of thyself, the higher self, not the me, I self, the ego. The ego is about to be conquered. Watch this. And the state of automatic and ego consciousness becomes what? Reduced in the favor of what? Better experiences of increasing levels of consciousness, aka awareness. You make less mistakes. You do less dumb things. You stop making bad decisions. All those are benefit to you. You control that. Again, when it's bad, you controlled it and made it bad. So when you change it, guess what? You're the beneficiary of that. And that's when the blessings come. In other words, trust me, there is a decrease of what? Daydreaming, losing focus, lapse of time, just okay? As well as what? The episodes of what? Carrying out negative activities and forgetting oneself in them. Why? Because they lose focus and they are finished what? Driving, for example, paying attention at all times. Also, there is what? Now it is reduced. There is a reduced level of what? You ready? Loss of awareness, ignorant activities of self during what? Your dream sleep and your dreamless states. Why? You're more comfortable now. The mind, the subconscious, it don't know from nothing. It just do what it does. So if it's agitated, it's gonna agitate more. Normally, most people at this lower level, ignorant state of consciousness, not knowing themselves, awareness, they become caught up, and I told you, in their swoons or fainting, the effect which occurs when, at the time when one, that right spot when they fall asleep, they swoon, they start to drift off. You imagine going through life like that. That's not good, okay? And wherein there is what? No awareness of your dreams. While what? While in the deep sleep state, the dreamless state, this swooning effect causes what? An ordinary ignorant person to lose consciousness. Actually faint, to just, go to sleep at the will. Again, of their own and waking state. I'm not right now, dude. Identify it and assume what that identity of their, that dream subject, when you're in your own dream, you think it's real, but you really don't know what's going on. So you really just there. And thus to feel that what the dream subject or state of mind, as well as the dream world, are what realities only in themselves, which means it's just in your mind. When you lay down and go to sleep, it ain't physical no more. It's that next level up. It's all mental, astral. The physical body ain't went nowhere. The astral body gets up and travels wherever it want to go, conceptually. But now I'm gonna wrap that up because I see the clock. I don't want to take too much of your time, but that's the best idea. No, I got some more inside, but I got to do this because this is the best part for me. Now, this shift in your identification from what? Your waking personality to the dream personality to what? To absence of either personality when you reach that what? The dreamless sleep state led ancient philosophers to what? To discover that these states are not absolute realities. Remember, they're dream state. So philosophically, anything that is not continuous and abiding cannot be considered as real. Okay? The physical body, moving on, only what exists and does not change, truth, okay? Reality, in all periods of time, can be considered as real. Nothing in this physical human world or experience qualifies what? As real, according to that test. Nature, the human body, everything has what? A beginning, so they will have an end. That's mortality. Immortality had no beginning and don't have an end. That's God. Moving on, the concept. Watch this. Now, therefore, they are not absolutely real, but they appear to be real. Why? Because of the mind, this is limited, and the senses along with the physical body, with the belief in the mind that they are real. Again, being led astray. In other words, people what? Believe. That's all mental. That matter and physical objects are real, even though modern physics has proven that all matter is not matter. Physical objects are not even are physical or stable. It changes what? Constantly, and it constitutes what? Parts are in reality all composed of empty spaces, low vibrations that we can actually deal with. Think about it. When you fall asleep, watch this. You believe, again, belief is in the mind. Proof is having knowledge of. Belief means you don't know. So watch this. You believe that the dream world is real, but upon waking up, you believe it was not. Why? Because everything was in the dream no longer there. You woke up. Nothing comes to a sleeper but a dream. And if you only can communicate with God in the dream state, you need to start meditating. Moving on, I gave you a lesson about that. But at the same time, when you fall asleep, what happens? You forget the waking world. Now, you woke now, but when you go to sleep, this world disappears. Feel me? Watch this. So, remember, one waking, one sleeping. But watch this. When you fall asleep and you believe that the dream world is, think about it. When you fall asleep, you believe that the dream world is real. Upon waking up, you believe it's not. Now, at the same time, when you fall asleep again, the waking world is not there. So your relatives and life history and assume an entire new history, relatives, life situations, what, in the dream world? Okay? Therefore, philosophically, the ordinary state of consciousness which a human being experiences are limited and illusory because all you can do is deal with the physical body through the five senses to relay the information to the brain. So, watch this. The waking dream and dreamless states are only transient expressions of the deeper underlying consciousness. This underlying consciousness, which witnesses, they call Amon, the one that witnessed the either three states. Okay, Doc, thrice great. He's great in your dream state, real state, and the deep dream state. How about that? Thrice great, three times. And what Carl Jung referred to as, watch this, I left this. This is the part I want to get to. Now, collective unconsciousness. In Indian, the philosophy, this fourth state that we're talking about, consciousness, awareness, is known as Turiya. It also is referred to, you ready? My favorite, as God consciousness or cosmic consciousness. I just got finished giving you that lesson. So it's all based on reaching that level with your higher self we call God, but you got to become conscious of it mentally. That's the marriage that you want to have, your heart and mind coherence. That's the lesson, and that's what meditation do. I'll be back with the therapeutic value of meditation. Oh, I got more meditation for you. And in closing, right thinkers, may you all live to be 100 and me 100 minus a day. So I never know that right thinkers like you have passed away. I'll be right back.